Yo, I was recording a quick video, another one where I'm disputing a copyright claim on a recent video where I'm using clips from things to illustrate points and defend myself. It's fair use, and I want to watch what I was just recording instead of like clipping these together. We're just gonna watch it. But what my computer blue screened. Now my computer didn't blue screen for like when I made it in like October of 2022, and it hasn't blue screened that many times, and like maybe it hadn't blue screened once until like I don't know 2023, late into 2023, and then recently, as I've been making more videos which are kind of meaningful and have meaningful in the sense of I'm going through a problem and like a difficulty with the Stephanie Justin thing where she is just openly now taunting and causing me problems, and people aren't engaging it. After that point, and when I started making kind of more points in my videos about this stuff, especially recently, the past couple like weeks, my computer's been blue screening repeatedly. And it blue screens like usually when I'm making a point in a video, and then a message pops up, like a message that I don't think has anything to do with the blue screen. And it's supposed to look, it's like plausibly deniable, maybe that, oh, it's just a thing that it says on a blue screen. But I think someone's like, triggering the blue screens on my computer, which is like, that's a problem. That's exactly that is literally what I'm talking about with my digital identity being messed with. I'm just not sure they can do it all the time, and I think Yahweh every time they do it strikes someone that they care about or strikes someone that this group is part of this group, and it's become really obvious that if you're gonna do this, you better do it on something worthwhile. Otherwise, you're just killing your people. But you know, if they want to kill the people they love most to like make evil, rapey kind of points to me that I should shut up about real situations where a bunch of celebrities and a bunch of, politicians and a bunch of just corrupt people, the Nicolaitans from the book of Revelation, from the first church in the seven churches of Asia, the victory over the people, some group of elites and bought off people and artists and stuff that are just like, using their whatever to put their boot on the neck of the people, it would seem, or the victory of the people or something, where it's like that kind of thing where, for some group of elites or for some satanic thing, it's like people who are willing to sell themselves out in order to be, get more clout and money and whatever. That's not me. And that's who I'm up against. They're the adversary to me. They're satanic against me. That's what adversary means. In Hebrew, the word Satan is adversary. Okay, maybe now you get it. And devil, the concept of devil in the New Testament in Greek is something that slanders or traduces, which has happened to me numerous times about this. So that's the situation I find myself in. I just want to watch the. This is the video that I just was recording, and then it cut out. And so we can watch it, and you'll actually be able to see what I was saying and hear what I was saying, and blah 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 blah. So let's do that because I don't want this to be too long. I didn't want it to be too long. So yeah, yo, a little earlier I played a game of Counter Strike, and then I spoke about some mental health difficulties that I've been going through. And one of the videos that I showed was Richarlison and his recent mental health struggles that he spoke about in an interview. But prior to that, I showed the really incredible bicycle kick goal that he scored in the 2022 World Cup against Serbia. And we I sat and the video is me watching the video and talking about it and talking about the other things, and it's just a small portion of the video. And it's a video of me playing Counter Strike, but it was uh, blocked because of copyright claim from FIFA. I even say it in the video that I think like maybe something happens. And recently I had a video by about Doctor Strange. Actually, it's the video at James Samuel is Carl Mordo, which currently is blocked, but 24 hours from now, if Disney has not uh, like responded to the fair use dispute that I've put out, uh, it'll be live until they do, and if they don't, then it'll be up because of fair use. And it falls within fair use, and you could make arguments. Some of this is there shouldn't be a gray area. Fair use is fair use, and I feel like these companies and stuff are kind of using like a legal gray area to prevent people from using content that they might have even stolen themselves, and you would prove out that it's yours by showing it. And then if they could block you from using it, then it's like double the insult. But which I think is really shitty, and I don't actually think companies should be able to do this, and I think the laws need to change immediately. You should, under fair use should not be a gray area. There should be a magical formula to say, if you do this and do this, your video is covered under fair use. The fact that it's not is only so if the companies or whatever decide for any reason that they don't want you to use it, even if it's they've done something wrong and you're proving it out using the content that is stolen from you, or is your intellectual property or something, or to some degree, then they can just strike you down, like a strike on the thigh or something. But they could strike you down using this gray area, which it should not be that, like I'm saying. So I got an email back from YouTube here, and you can see that it flagged two things, and it says no impact until I become a monetizing creator. I only listened to a moment of this, so I think some of this also is like, if I'm not using the whole song, if I'm using a portion and it's just to illustrate a point of something said in the song or something, I should just be able to use it. That should be fair use. Similarly, if I'm using something like FIFA of the World Cup. Is soccer, is football the world's game? Okay, then a company cannot assert itself over it and say that you can't use the audio or video. I think that's silly. Is it a public sport? Do you want people to watch the World Cup? All right, well then you need to allow people to use it in a fair way. So I mean that's just the truth. It's been that was 2022. We're in 2024. It doesn't really matter of the 2022 World Cup. I mean, it'll live in history, and it happened, but it's like it is not the relevant thing currently, and so there shouldn't really be a reason why this would be blocked. But in any instance, I know it's an algorithm that has flagged this. So what I'm planning to do, and what I'm going to do again, is similar to how you can even see in this video behind here, right? That Doctor Strange copyright dispute and fair use claim. Additionally, you can see I got a couple more videos, and that this James Samuel is Carl Mordo is still blocked, but I think by tomorrow at 5:17, if Disney has not, you know, uh, let's see, your video will remain blocked for the first 48 hours following your dispute, or until the claimant releases the claim, whichever one comes first. So being that I've already done things in 2019 about Disney assassins, and it's seemingly that people lied about this situation, there's a big legal thing around it. I feel in my situation, Disney is probably, it would be in their best interest to just allow me to say things. Otherwise, if they want me to bring my wrath, the kingdom of heaven against the magical kingdom, I'm fine with that. Like, I can always clip little parts out that make it valid and put something in to just tear Disney a new one when I'm doing it. Otherwise, just let me use the clips, and hey, cool, right? So I wanted to come in here, and it's a game. It's me playing Counter Strike, and then I talk afterwards for like actually longer than I played. So it's a 2 hour long video, but only 45 minutes of it is Counter Strike. But I just I'm having a lot of mental health difficulties, just because, not mental health difficulties, but I feel super stressed out because of this situation about Stephanie Houston and the other things where people are mocking the situation and have done other stuff, but this is like the stone that sinks all that. It's like it kind of proves that it's happening. But in any instance, and I also want to point this out on, like, here you can see that this person has said, man, you would think if you're not monetized on your vids, there's no reason to copyright. Yeah, exactly. What reason to copyright? Is it just because copyright's being used to shut people up when people are saying things that these companies don't like? Yeah, actually, I do think that's part of it. Now, do I think that that's what this is? I think that this and the Disney thing is just, it's the That's kind of my point is that like, why do I keep getting blue screened all of a sudden? Like nothing has changed with my setup. And when I'm telling my mom that I'm having difficulties, like I think my computer's been invaded, I think they're watching my stuff, or people are watching my stuff. Who is they? I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I could give you. I think the Stephanie Houston thing is a good starting point of like, hey, she and whoever is helping generate content for her, they around that, it does feel like some kind of Truman Show, but a more modern version, like the movie Nerve from 2016. So, which is about the time the whole Stephanie Houston thing started for me, right around then. So, and it also represents the nerve strike on the thigh. Like maybe this was a bunch of companies that did some really evil shit behind the scenes, and in order, because it's like, well, they can't kill you outright, but they can, if they know how to hurt you in a way that they shouldn't, they could do it. But if you caught them, all the companies are yours, everything's yours, and you'd be probably, if the magical kingdom tried some evil stuff against you like Disney, and they got caught very publicly doing it, an extreme evil, especially relating to sexuality, and in a case where I'm already being abused and psychologically harassed and stuff like that, and it's being empowered by Disney and the magic kingdom. Is it good magic, or is it the snaky kind of magic that at the beginning of the Bible kills everybody because Eve follows the magician, which is like, a diviner, enchanter, or serpent? So is that what Disney is? If it's not, well, probably the kingdom of heaven could help them. But, you know, it doesn't seem like they want that, and it seems like they've done some evil stuff and are trying to prevent me from speaking. Now, it's one or the other. If they haven't, and do I have something wrong? Well, you could always, like I keep asking for everybody else, use your words to speak into my situation directly. But if you're doing this kind of stuff, it's hurting yourself because Yahweh's taking action. Every time I'm blue screened, whoever's doing it, the people you love most, Yahweh is affecting them in ways which are darker than you can imagine. You need to stop. For your own sake and for the people that you love most, for their sake. Stop it. Algorithm, and the algorithm flagged it. That's it. And you can see it's only, you know, this much of the video. But in any instance, so I'm gonna dispute, and I already did this once. So if you really want to watch me kind of like take my time, you can go to Doctor Strange copyright dispute and fair use claim. But we're gonna go to copyright exceptions such as fair use, and also not all companies, like the all the DC stuff, all the Warner Brothers stuff that I watched, like the Batman versus Superman stuff. It didn't flag at all. It actually didn't even flag everything from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Just one specific kind of clip or portion, which to me is again strange, but it cuts out at me saying it is strange. Oh, so am I Doctor Strange now because I've called out a situation that's actually happening, around me, and that some company like Disney or something, or maybe FIFA, is like, has taken such absurd evil action against me that it's the end of the Bible with whatever group. That's why it'd be called the Nicolations. It's not like one group of people. It's like a whole bunch of people trying to assert over, the people. Victory over the people. Something that isn't rightfully over the people like Yahweh would be, but something in Jesus, Yahweh is Jesus' father. But, something like a company that is just trying to make money and is run by a bunch of snakes and abusive people. Is that what Disney is? If it is, well, then that's why it would be dealt with in an incredibly harsh way. If not, well, maybe it's time to change. Actually, I would suggest it is absolutely time to change. There is a reckoning going on, and you do not want to be on the wrong side of Yahweh. So okay, let's very quickly go in, and I'm just going to go to checks here and see the details, and do like I was saying previously. I clearly believe what I'm saying. So it's, if when it says like, if you do this kind of like in bad faith, they reserve the right to you know copyright strike you, or whatever. So um I don't know which one this would be. Educational video. I mean, I really gameplay. This is a video of me playing. Actually, the Counter Strike part really doesn't matter, so I'm gonna say it is uh, commentary. Uh, the segment in dispute is a short clip of a goal of a game from the 2022 World Cup. I am discussing the player just make sure I spell it right. uh, Charlison's recent mental health struggles and I I speak about this moment, or I talk about this moment from this spectacular goal from the Brazil versus Serbia game. Uh, additionally, my own overlay is covering a significant portion of the screen. This is clearly covered under fair use, specifically relating to commentary. I have significantly my video doesn't infringe on anyone's content. I understand my claimant will be able to view my video and my dispute rationale. I understand that filing fraudulent disputes may result in the termination of my YouTube account. Clearly, this is why I'm recording this, because I clearly believe this, and I think this is bullshit that this is going on. But I actually clearly do believe it's fair use, and my whole point is, when it says there shouldn't be there's not a magical formula. Yeah, there is. This whole thing actually, there's this gray area that I think the U.S. government immediately needs to engage, and I think people should speak out on. Like, there should not be a gray area. This is something that I'm using to defend myself in a period where people are attacking my mental health and seemingly using shit like this to like fuck with me. I mean, this kind of like bullshit IP kind of whatever stuff, which has been my point of like, this is why I'm like, it seems like I'm gathering up a bunch of IPs because all these things have been used against me to like harass and violate me in a way they shouldn't. And am I saying that about this goal? No. But some of these are like the when I'm discussing what's going on in the Doctor Strange thing. If I mean, is that to support me? Okay, well that's different than this. You shouldn't be like fucking with me around it, and you should just allow it. But like I'm gonna continue to like do this process so that it makes sense. Now at 12:20 on AM on April 3rd of 2024, it'll be visible to see whether they want it to or not. You know what I mean? If they reclaim it, I'll appeal it. If the appeal doesn't work, first of all, I'll cut the portion out and then I'll put it up. If the appeal on the with the portion doesn't work, like I will continue to do this and like draw attention to this, that not only is this bullshit and hurting people, that they're doubling down on an already abusive, evil situation. And like, it's an algorithm, so only once a actual human has seen it am I gonna say like, hey, and now they really are causing fucking problems. But the fact that usually they use a third party to do this kind of shit anyway. The third parties are more like focused on doing whatever for them and making sure that their shit is whatever anyway. So I mean, like, I'm not gonna put this up yet just because it's not gonna go up anyway. You know what I mean? And so I'll wait on it for a moment or for a bit. But yeah, okay. I don't want this video to be too long, but and to me, this video here that I just recorded that you're watching, very similar to the Doctor Strange copyright dispute and fair use claim. It's mostly I'm putting this up because I think it's important for me to, this is why in 2018, 20, the end of 2017, or no, 2018, I started trying to record everything that I did. At a certain point, I was literally recording every waking moment of my reality, which actually only seemed to invite more people trying to prevent that, because I think a lot of people don't like a light shined on a dark situation, or a lot of people don't want to be called out or caught out because most people are doing some evil shit behind the scenes. That's apt, like that actually seems to be what it is that people don't want this recorded, even though it is actual history. This is what history is. Like, I'm recording, this is the reality of this situation in this current moment in 2024, that so little has changed since 2018, 2019, that, I'm still being struck down when I'm like trying to defend myself with this content that, again, was it made for me or out of my mind, in the sense like it's pulled out? Because it seems like, the stuff with me going up against James Samuel, aka Carl Mordo, there is like, this would be why I'm actual Doctor Strange, John Constantine or whatnot, AC for the Marvel, DC for DC. And so maybe one of them's my left hand, one of them's my right hand. Maybe this one, maybe this one's Marvel, this one's DC, or this one's DC, this one, and this one's Marvel. I'm kidding. That is kind of a joke, but a yoke. I don't know. I can't say it's a joke because that's trademark for the Joker. No, that's yoke. Anyway, so and Jesus sits at the right hand, not some kind of made up bullshit, but Jesus, Yahweh's son. The Son of God, Jesus. Okay, that's the idea of like the seven churches thing. Is that you conquer at that? It's like the scroll is in your hand, and then he's unlocking it and sitting at your right hand and granting you to sit at the throne. Because he sits at the right hand of the one on the throne. You see? Yeah, and that's Matthew Ray Wilkins. So I don't have anything else to add. Mostly just recording and posting this to protect myself and to like shine a light on how this works, because I think a lot of people don't understand that, like, part of this is I think more people are going to be doing kind of what I'm doing, because I don't see that the system really protects people in situations like I'm going through, and in fact is used against people a lot of the time, as I've gone through. So I just find it really important and critical to record every moment and interaction with whatever this system is, to make sure that it's like understood that this is why this is so difficult, and that putting up roadblocks and stuff, like how much extra money do they like actually having to get a third party to vet this stuff and go all through this stuff? They probably lose money actually trying to keep this copyright stuff going, because I don't actually think they get really anything from YouTube doing it. You know what I mean? Like, they aren't really getting money and shit from it, so it just seems like a waste for me. That And I think it's just done again so they can control people. And so, probably Disney, if you want that as your image, you're like a dystopian kind of magical kingdom used to assert over, your average Joe or your average Yo. Well, probably you deserve all the evil that will befall a snaky magic kingdom. If you are a good magic kingdom or something, and Mickey is, like Michael the Archangel, and Mickey's like a cute way of getting that over. And it's my kingdom. Is the magical kingdom the kingdom of heaven actually, or something? Or you know, because it seems like very obvious to me, just in direct opposition, or maybe just a knockoff of Yahweh in the kingdom of heaven. So, and the archangel Michael, Michael. So Mikael. Yeah, I mean, my whole point. I'm trying to draw these points. So, what is it? Because if that's it, that would be a real big problem. So, especially if actively it's trying to shut me up. Like I said, a snake to Yahweh is nothing but something to step on and crush. So I don't really have anything else to add. I hope this kind of elucidates what's going on and why this is, again, such a difficult thing to go through. Um, and I hope everybody attached to it that is like, could make a difference and just sits there and doesn't. I hope you feel terrible. And I hope, honestly, I hope that really, like, this starts to, like, people start getting sick around all this bullshit. And that it finally, we get to a point where it's like, if you don't want to go to a kingdom of heaven and you're trying to stay in some kind of evil, rapey, like snake kingdom, because that's, again, the Bible is considerably older than, Disney. And maybe Disney is literally just Disney. Like, it's a diss. And that's, I got hit in the knee by something and it's something dissing me. Is it someone I know named Walt from my childhood or something like that? Janet's husband or something, or Madeline's husband, or whoever, all the Waltz that whatever. I mean, actually. Well, that shit's over. Snake's crushed. We're moving on. And, if that's what it is, everybody around the situation. So I would just suggest you guys speak up for what's right. And it ain't the magical kingdom, it's the kingdom of heaven. If the magical kingdom actually is like, oh, actually, we like that thing. We want to, the Bible, which is considerably more relevant, though it seems like something's trying to get rid of it. Maybe because, the whole Disney thing seems to be that it's a knockoff and they're trying to steal away reality from he whose it is. And from anybody who would want to be part of a reality where a bunch of corporations don't assert over your reality and destroy your lives for really evil, rapey reasons. So is that Disney? If not, I can either be against Disney or with Disney. Disney can either be against me or with me. How does that sound? If I'm the one conquering at the seven churches, I'm on the throne of Yahweh in the kingdom of heaven. If Disney wants to be a part of that and not a snake whose head has been crushed because they're a bunch of diviners and wizards and shit like that trying to destroy reality, well, then they can do for me instead of go against me, right? And I would immediately do it, not like waiting. Now. All right. Bob Iger, you got anything to say? This is all sickening. This is sickening me. If it's starting to sicken you, then this is why. So, okay, that's it. Have a blessed one. Does this seem threatening? I feel threatened. Is this self-defense? Yeah, absolutely. If me calling out power, acting unjustly and wrong is seen as some kind of problem, tough shit. You guys are in the wrong on this. You guys are in the wrong on a lot of stuff. Probably should change. I'm going to say this also. A lot of the Disney properties suck these days. Star Wars sucks these days. Like Marvel, at this point, actually kind of sucks these days. Like a lot of this shit sucks these days, and Disney seems like they're just railroading all these IPs and properties on purpose at this point because they know they've lost and they are some kind of snaky kingdom. How about you just like, if you want actually to be a place that works out and blah blah blah, how about you drop the bullshit and stop putting these people in charge of these things that like are destroying them? And maybe how about you invite Matt Wilkins to like make this better? But just makes sense. The guy on the throne of Yahweh might actually be able to make the kingdom like a happy place again, because it doesn't seem that happy, and it seems like Disney's losing a lot of money, and maybe they should. So I guess it depends. Are you with me? Against me? Are you against me? Or with me? Or are you with me? Against me? I mean, it doesn't. I'm going side to side, but the side doesn't matter. The only sides matter: are you with me or are you against me? So I would make that decision now. All right, have a blessed one later. Yeah.